Welcome into the Dug In Podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am Adrian Lewis at H2K6 on all socials. I'm joined tonight by two of my good friends. We have Ben Weingard and William Maxwell. We'll be doing the Super Bowl trailer review. So welcome in, guys.
What's going on, man?
Let's do it. It's William Maximov, aka William Spencer, aka Willie Vision.
Oh boy! So let's get into it. So if you were watching the game, surrounded by a bunch of loud people like I was, you couldn't really make out the trailers, but there was a difference between TV trailers and the ones that they released, especially with Doctor Strange online. So our review is coming strictly off the online version. So let's just hop into it first. Doctor Strange is, one of the most hyped up Marvel films of the year. If you haven't seen WandaVision, if you haven't seen Loki, if you haven't seen What If, tons of spoilers. Like, just get out now.
Leave if you haven't seen those shows.
Man, I don't. You got to catch up a lot, but it seemed like a good trailer, and I feel like they're doing the Disney thing where they usually edit out, some surprise things in the trailer, but it looked really good. Really big splash, well put together, a very good demonstration of something to get hyped up for. And I want to know from you guys, what's the biggest takeaway from the film or from the trailer? Like, what did you see that was like, man, they did that right?
I can certainly start this off. First off, I would like to say I seen the trailer during the Super Bowl, and I was around a bunch of loud people as well. So I actually put in my headphones and went and found the link and watched it again on my phone. That's how hyped I am for this movie. The first thing I noticed, and there's my boy Professor X was in there, man. He was in there. I know that voice from anywhere.
Yeah,
it's going to be a wild thing if the X-Men are part of the MCU now.
That's why they made moves, right? That's why they bought Fox. That's why they brought in all the. They started bringing in all the old Spider-Man in the last movie. Sorry, Spider-Man. Spoilers. Get out. Yeah, this is where they need to start cashing in, and man, Patrick Stewart, I don't know who they were fooling. Just show him.
Yeah, I think they did it well with just giving his voice for the trailer. Because everybody's talking about it like it's a huge thing. You got Professor X. Potentially, we haven't seen his face, but I doubt they're just throwing us around like that. We got a Zombie Strange, which ties into the What If series on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. You got Wanda's all covered in blood. That's going back to the Disney Plus show. It's so many things from just 2.5 minutes of that trailer that I have to talk about. This movie is going to be wild.
How about you, Ben? What do you think about the Strange trailer so far? What's the biggest takeaway for you?
Well, I was one of those loud people, and my bad. It took me a little bit to catch up on this. But one of the differences in that trailer, we'll just hit it. We got Zombie Wanda in the TV spot, and that was not in this trailer online that you can see on YouTube now, the actual full trailer. But my biggest takeaway is What If counts, man. I cannot believe they made this cartoon show count. The cartoon was great. I love it. I love the books What If and Elseworlds from DC. So that's my favorite kind of stuff anyway, but it counts. Watch everything. If you're skipping Marvel stuff, you messed up already.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you haven't caught up to any of this, you're just missing out on the hype. That's why I don't like binging a lot of shows, because you miss out on the hype week to week. That's why Euphoria is like one of the most hyped up shows on HBO right now. That's why Succession is a banger every week. It gets you hype. It gets people talking. And this trailer definitely is it's gonna start the summer off nice. So my biggest takeaway, I think I liked the different versions of Doctor Strange that we saw. And in the trailer alone, we got 4 or 5. And I'm thinking that we're gonna get a lot more later on. I just think that they're setting it up to truly be a multiverse movie instead of just bringing people into one universe. They're going to be sending out Strange into different areas or different timelines or something like that. And I think that's just great. But yeah, Zombie Strange.
I'm so excited that they got the Sorcerer Supreme Strange from What If showing up. It was just so cool to see him look at him. Just things had gotten out of hand. It's like, holy shit.
I mean, and even when you look at What If compared to the trailer, you see the buildings being destroyed and turning into that like ash ink kind of thing that third episode of What If had. That's perfect. That's a perfect way to do things. Take note, DC. Perfect way to do things. And they're setting up everything. They're making everything count. You're exactly right. What If actually mattered. And hidden little thing in the trailer, actually the title screen right before it came together with all the glass, we saw God, what is her name? Peggy Carter's shield in one of the glass.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
If she shows up, I'm gonna be 10 out of 10 hype. That was my biggest splash, which was the smallest detail on the screen.
Why not though? Like we saw her old last time in movie, but like Haley Atwell's young. She could still do it. There's no reason for it not to happen. You know, I'm sure a lot of other stuff will happen in this movie too, but that would be insane. What a moment that would be.
Yeah, I
feel
think
like it has to happen.
I think they gotta bring all the aspects in for this one. Like we're getting so many things in this trailer. They're just throwing stuff at us. So that brings me to my next point. They're throwing stuff at you. What made the biggest splash in your mind? Like biggest takeaway was one thing, but when you're looking at that, you're being entertained on that trailer. What was the biggest thing that you saw? What was your favorite thing?
One thing that I saw, a lot of people, if you saw the trailer, you see everybody thinks it's Rambo. That's fighting with Strange and Wanda at one point. So of course I do some digging. Apparently that's supposed to be a different variant of Iron Man.
Supreme Stark.
Superior.
Not Supreme. Sorry, my bad. Superior Iron Man. Yeah, man. That is a.
I wonder, A, who do they have to play that? And B, how are they going to introduce them?
You want the fan theories or you want the actual legit like cast? Because I don't think
I got one for that. I know you got theories on here in a minute. We'll wait, but I got one. So hold up on that. We'll talk. Hold on.
Oh man.
What's the biggest splash for you, Ben?
Mine is Mordo's back, man. I was afraid. We've seen Strange a few times now, but what a great character he played in the first movie. I loved him in Serenity too. He's just such a good villain, and he was such a hero in the first one, and you saw it happen, and we get the break in the post-credits, and now we get to see it in full force. I'm very excited. And also, we pushed right over her too. America Chavez is in this movie.
Yes,
they're giving us everything.
Yes, sir. I love the concept of bringing Chavez in. And she was supposed to be in Spider-Man, but since they realigned the movie releases, they scrubbed it from Spider-Man and let her just be in this movie starting out. So I'm super hyped for her. Like her origin story is a little weird. I'm hoping that they kind of tone it down a little bit, make it more relatable. But she is awesome. And in the trailer, you know, her fit's all nice. You know, she's got the little pin, the LGBTQ pin. Love is Love. And I mean, she's going to be a big one for like the younger generation to love. So,
Yeah, her powers are so important to the multiverse too. Like they
yeah,
actually need her to get
yeah,
through all this mess.
yeah. And it's interesting that it seems like all of this has come from Strange misusing his sorcery, or Wanda misusing her sorcery, and then we're getting to this point where something's got to give, right? Or we're getting to a point where their actions have consequences. Like you can't have WandaVision and then just nothing happens on the outside after that.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't.
almost like they're getting like it's almost like a power check because Wanda and Strange, I mean, they're doing stuff that isn't supposed to be done. They're like two of the people that have pretty much done whatever they wanted to do with time, with space. Like they've been acting up, especially on WandaVision and all of that. Like
Yeah,
you got to answer to somebody. You can't just be around here
it's gonna be
controlling
good.
whole towns and cities all willy nilly and erasing people's memories and stuff. Like it's somebody got to do some checks and balances around here.
But yeah, I mean, they did a great job with this trailer. I feel like they're holding stuff back, and there's a lot of details in this trailer. But lastly, I mean, we're gonna cover more on this later on. But what's the biggest theory coming out of here? And Ben, you go ahead and go first, since I mean we kind of touched on it before of the superior Iron Man, but you go ahead.
So that leads me into it a bit. We hear Captain Jean-Luc Picard himself, Patrick Stewart, coming out hot in this one. Then they show that room, that big old room, right? And he's clearly talking to Strange. They have the smartest minds in the Marvel universe. We're getting Illuminati in here. And I think we got Patrick Stewart as Professor X. I think we're going to get Killmonger Panther, because that was in What If. Him being Black Panther. You can't have Chadwick, obviously, with his passing, but you set it up where Michael B. Jordan could pop in. I've heard some rumblings about maybe John Krasinski being Reed Richards, because he's part of that in the comics too. They'll burn that off now. He won't really be Reed Richards, but everybody wanted to see it. And then lastly, I think we get that superior Iron Man, but it's Tony. It's RDJ himself. And they bring him back and we get a Spider-Man moment. One last ride with him.
If they bring him back, that'd be the best kept secret ever.
I think, I read the fan theory, so they're thinking that Tom Cruise might be the new
That
Iron
was
Man.
the other one I heard too.
I saw that. My
He was supposed. He was thought about for the first one, so I mean, yeah. But,
he was in the late '90s when they were about to make this movie, and were making it around the time they were making like Spider-Man 1 with Raimi. So that would be a cool little touchstone too. I don't know that I need it, but it would be cool if they did it.
Yeah. So how about you, Will? What's your biggest theory that you have?
My biggest theory. So I agree with the Illuminati thing. If it's the Illuminati meeting, that would be awesome. I've seen that apparently Wanda wasn't affected by the spell that erased the memory of Peter Parker.
Oh,
So I wonder how that is going to tie into the movie, because apparently, at the end of the trailer where she says that, Doctor Strange breaks the rules. He's a hero, but I do it and I'm a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or something to that effect.
Okay.
I mean, she knows he broke the rules by, helping out Peter Parker. So apparently her memories weren't wiped.
Yeah, I
wonder
think
how
a key
that
point
into effect into the whole story of the movie.
I think a key point in that trailer is Wanda saying, basically, if you do something, you're a hero. If I do something, I'm the villain. And I feel like that's a metaphor. That's the women's plight right there. I mean, we see it in society, but in this movie specifically, I think that, and this is my theory, I think that unfortunately we're going to see Wanda turn bad because she didn't deal with her grief in the right way. And Doctor Strange, even though he didn't deal with his grief in the right way, and he's trying to control everything, he's going to be viewed as the hero because he is a sorcerer supreme and he's got this role to, multiverses and whatever. So I think this all ties back into Kang being on the Illuminati Council.
Ooh.
And if that happens, that adds more weight to Loki.
Right.
That adds a lot more weight to this movie and what we're going to see in Phase 4. Also, my secret pick for the Illuminati Council is Ultron. So, I mean, look, you
get Spader back. Well, they have the robots too. He's being let in by
I've seen
Tony Ultron robots. But is it Spader if they do it?
Yeah.
Give him another crack at it outside of the Whedon one.
Yeah, we'll see. So we're gonna break down this trailer a lot more. Because it's going to take us a long time to talk about these different things that's in this trailer. I have a whole list here of Doctor Strange stuff. So Friday night, we're going to break down this trailer in detail. We're just going to focus solely on Doctor Strange 2. But for now, we're going to move on to the next trailer that we saw, which is Moon Knight. And I'm a big Oscar Isaac fan. I mean, he's good in everything that I've seen him in. Okay. It's very hard for me to doubt that this show will be great. And I see that the violence is there. I see that it deals with a kind of like that split personality aspect of a character, which is always great because you'll have that duality without really having to try for it. Like it's not like Spider-Man where you have Peter Parker and Spider-Man. It's going to be a natural split. So again, we're just going to go through and break this down real quick. So what's your biggest takeaway? We'll start with you, Ben.
You said it already with the violence. I think it's Marvel getting adult and Marvel getting weird, and they're okay with it. And it's going to be on Disney Plus. You're going to have to watch it. You're paying for the streaming service anyway. But Netflix is gone, and those shows just left, or they leave March 1st, whatever it is. Where they go with those street level shows, where are they going next? So it looks like Moon Knight might be the wave to bring those heroes back. We saw, again, spoilers for Spider-Man. Daredevil's back. We saw Fisk, spoilers for Hawkeye. Now we're getting these street level heroes, and they look like a lot of fun. Like, I'm excited for this. I've heard of Moon Knight. You know, he's always talked about as Marvel's Batman, but I'm not as familiar with the character, and I'm excited for that. I want to see it for the first time. I want to get to know this. I'm stoked.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's I don't compare the two exactly, but he's almost probably going to be like the Deadpool of the Disney Plus shows because he's pretty wild in the comics. I don't know how much of that will translate to the TV version, but I'm kind of excited to see where they go with it. He's kind of an edgier hero, so and then it ties in with a bunch of other stuff too. Like I don't know if y'all heard of the Midnight Suns and all that stuff.
With Kit Harington's character and Blade.
Yeah, it's going to tie in with a bunch of the stuff that's coming out now. So I'm excited to see it. See how they just this whole Phase 4. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, sorry, spoilers for Eternals. Post-credit scene there. Just watch the movies. Come on, people.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. If you're getting spoiled after a year and a half, I don't know what to tell you.
All these Super Bowl review trailers for all these sequels, and I'm so surprised they spoiled the other movies that lead into this. What a crazy bunch!
They're nuts, absolutely nuts.
So yeah, I think it was pretty good, and I think it's going to lead to, like you said, Ben, the street level shows, and we're going to have the Midnight Suns. We're going to have Secret Wars probably, or please God, we're gonna have young Avengers. We're gonna get something out of all of this, and I mean, it's gonna have to lead to that because as much as we love the original Avengers, at some point they age out. And it's been since 2008, 2009 that they've been around. So maybe start to bring in some new blood. So 20 years later, you don't have, we don't have to rely on Bruce Banner and Thor and, Iron Man to save the world. We have some other characters and we can have some other adventures with those guys. But
we already lost 2 of them. We already lost Chris Evans. We already lost Downey for now. Maybe they come back, whatever. They're expensive too. You're Marvel. Disney paid for the entire back catalog. We haven't even got to the first family of Marvel. Fantastic Four still isn't there. Will said that they're probably setting up X-Men. That's years of films right there because Disney will do it right. We don't need to worry about the Fox nonsense and get another New Mutants, God forbid. But we'll get something different, and there's so many more heroes they can do. Like you're saying, America Chavez is going to show up in Doctor Strange. You don't think they're going to spin her off and do her own thing with her? We saw whether or not that's Monica Rambeau from WandaVision, which it probably makes sense that it is her, but if that isn't her, she's still kicking around somewhere doing something. There's plenty of other heroes they can use, and they're finally delving into them. And you even mentioned Deadpool. Like, he's going to show up at some point. Disney isn't going to leave a billion-dollar franchise. Well, it's not yet, but considering it made hundreds of millions of dollars as an R-rated movie, it's coming back. They're going to delve into all these things, and that's great. Like, it keeps this fresh, but it keeps it moving too.
Yeah,
you get actors who look like Tom Holland, and he could just play an 18-year-old Spider-Man forever because he has a baby face.
It's true.
Yeah, Tom Holland, that man. I don't get it. What cream you using, bro? It don't make sense.
Money. Disney money.
Hey, he putting
Sony money
on his face. Yeah, so I think that they did a good job with Moon Knight again. I like the violence. I like where they're going with that. That's my biggest splash. What's a theory you have about the show? Let it loose. What do you think is going to happen?
If I'm going,
go ahead.
Oh, all right. I was to say, if I said the street level already, we already saw Daredevil one. So did we get Cage or Jessica in this one? Are they going to bring any of those guys back? That would be pretty cool. Not Danny Rand though, unless they recast him.
Please, please God.
Please.
If they got Shang-Chi right, then do Iron Fist right.
I thought they were going to bring. That's who I was going to bring up. Cage. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring him into it because they only showed 2 characters in the trailer, so I know there's a bunch more characters that'll probably be in the show. But I'm pretty sure Cage will be one of them.
Yeah, I think this is going to lead into the more Disney Plus shows, but most of all the Midnight Suns, like you said, and I really do think that the pandemic really put a hamper on a lot of these Disney Plus productions because, I mean, you could just tell stuff is filmed indoors or Oscar Isaac's kind of by himself or the street's kind of sparse, that kind of detail. But I still think it's going to be like an 8 out of 10 at least because Oscar Isaac don't miss. All right. Speaking of misses, Jurassic World Dominion.
Jurassic World.
I get it. It's the Fast and the Furious of dinosaurs. It's supposed to end with this film, and they're bringing back the original crew. And I'm hoping that, it's just not the parents. They'll bring back the daughter and the son too. But I really think that Bryce Dallas Howard is a great director for Star Wars and all that stuff. So I hope that this one is better than the last one. The first one with Chris Pratt.
What Star Wars? Can that be shiny?
All right, we're gonna mute Will out of the chat right now. So your vendetta against Star Wars needs to get past the movies, sir. Okay, but I think that the first one was okay. It was good, and these are billion-dollar movies. I mean, they're gonna make money. Everyone loves their dinosaurs. I just want it to be good. And the dinosaurs are supposed to be in the neighborhoods now and around the world because of the decisions made in the last movie. So I don't know. Last one of the franchise. What do you think is going to happen? What do you expect out of this movie? I'll go to you first, Will.
Honestly, like I said, we were discussing earlier. I watched the Jurassic Park movies just for pure entertainment. Like I'm not trying to big brain them. I feel like they had kind of the same concept in Jurassic Park 3 with the dinosaurs just rummaging through the city. And now that I guess they're all over the planet now. So I'm kind of curious of what the storyline of the movie is going to be. Because we know your boy Chris Pratt was with his own pet domesticated raptor in the last movie. And now that raptor has a baby. I'm just kind of don't know where it's going, but I am intrigued. I mean, they're bringing back the OGs of Jurassic Park in this movie, so I'm interested to see where it's going to go. But I mean, I'm kind of thinking this is going to be, Raptor, T Rex terrorizes everybody. They stop the T Rex, end of movie. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in between all of that.
How about you, Ben? I know you got some strong feelings about this.
Strong feelings. Yeah, last of the franchise. Ha! Okay. This movie's going to make $1.5 billion and they'll figure out how to keep it going because dinosaurs are cool and they just built the new Velocicoaster and they got to get people to go to it, which I've heard from my wife is awesome. But I don't care. This last one was terrible. It doesn't matter. I saw Sam Neill and Laura Dern pop up. I'm in. Great. You got me again, Sam Neill. I hope you're happy. I'll see it. Also, we got dinosaurs with feathers. Let's go.
I saw that. I'm like, what on earth is going on? They're just moving up dinosaurs now.
No, that's actually dinosaurs for the first time ever.
Yeah, they actually got it right,
So
sure.
I don't think we got too much more to say on this one, but can I give one theory here? And I'm gonna be disappointed if they don't do this.
Okay.
I got one theory.
All right, go for it.
All right, so we get toward the end of the movie. I don't know. Chris Pratt's riding a bike for like at least half this trailer for some reason. He's on a motorcycle. If a Dodge Charger doesn't pull up next to him with Dominic Toretto in it, we got a problem, and I'm over it. Post-credit scene something. He's like drag racing a dinosaur quarter-mile at a time. I don't know. Let's go. It's all about family, man.
Oh, God.
I want it.
And then Wiz Khalifa comes on When I See You Again.
Oh, God. Look, this is not WB. They don't just bring back franchises to flop, okay? This ain't Wonder Woman 84. This isn't The Matrix. But that's a good point. And I hope that they finish off strong because it's been a good franchise for them money-wise. And as kids, we all remember the old Jurassic Park movies. So we got a question in the chat. What's the story with the baby raptor? All right. So in the first movie, I'm doing this off of pure memory because I didn't study this before. So in the first movie, he is a level 20 animal trainer in D&D. He does not miss with his rolls, and he's able to convince the raptor to be a dog, basically. And the raptor kind of is trained to help him out throughout the movie, and it kind of does its own thing for a while. Then it comes back and it gets captured in the second one, so he goes to save it, I believe, and then at the end he can either kill it or save it, and he decides to save it, which releases all the dinosaurs to the world. So
but you clearly left out one part that the chat's definitely asking, right? That means at some point that raptor fucks. That's what that means, because there's a baby. So something happened.
Oh, this is a G-rated
Absolutely.
show. we don't talk about fucking around.
Valentine's Day, and we got a raptor with a baby. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the deal with that. I don't know, man. I think they have to. There has to be a weird time gap there. Of when they released all these animals into where they are now, because a lot of these animals look like they're domesticated. Chris Pratt's out there running and lassoing, like he's a rancher of dinosaurs. I mean, come on, what are we
But they're
doing?
all over the world too. It's not just in one spot. It's like there's like Spain or some European city. We got them on a ice mountain somewhere. It's like they picked like 4 places from Mission Impossible movies and said, "Yeah, those are good."
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well,
About the how about hold on before we finish? How about the bug swarm that was in one of the scenes of the trailer?
yeah, I'm out.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I bet there were mosquitoes and bugs and stuff back then, but I mean,
Well, that's the whole plot of the first movie. So yeah, there are.
I mean,
That's how they got the dino DNA. That's the whole thing.
I am not Ross from Friends. I am not a paleontologist, so you ask them, okay? But it looks insane, and it looks like the Mummy, but with flying insects instead of scarabs.
How did the baby raptor get here, Adrian?
Hey, man, nature calls, I guess.
So it's not doggy style; it's velociraptor style.
Oh God. So when they perch on each other, where do the nails go? Like you gotta hang on
claw.
the claw. Yeah, where is do they have like a little insert for the claw?
No, it helps them hang upside down like Fitty.
Goodness gracious alive!
All right,
we lost the plot with this. We need to move on, please.
moving on.
DNA.
Look,
Oh
man.
my god!
All right, to our next
That
one.
ain't tree sap.
Lord of the Rings. Look, man, this was a trailer that was very CGI heavy, and I was very hyped for this movie before I saw the trailer. It looks okay. It looks like a show that I might check out. I mean, I'm not excited for this anymore because it just looks like a bad version. Like when video games get made into a movie, I feel like this is just going to be a bad version of Lord of the Rings. I'm hoping they drop another trailer where it's actually some like boots on ground combat or some really intriguing aspects of the show instead of just like, look here. Ooh, that's an elf. Ooh, yes. So my question to you guys, will this movie flop or will this show flop?
I think it'll probably start off. People will watch and see the first episode and see what's kind of going on. Isn't it? It's supposed to be a prequel, isn't it? Isn't it like 1,000 years before the events of the Lord of the Rings or something like that?
Yeah, before all that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tune in and see where they're going with it. Like if it seems like it's setting up a good origin story, or they're going to tell us like how all the stuff started and it's interesting, I think it'll be a hit. But at the same time, I also feel like it's kind of a little late for this. I mean, I haven't really talked about Lord of the Rings since the last movie came out, so I don't know. I'm curious. I'll probably give it a shot, but I'm not super excited.
Yeah. How about you, Ben?
Hey kids, you love those movies, The Hobbit, that everybody loved, and not the original ones that were just full of CGI? Yeah, those were my favorite too. So I know when I see a Lord of the Rings thing, I just want to see a bunch of CGI and nobody doing anything. Those are my favorite parts. No, it looks unfinished. It just looks it's trying to do too much. You said it like I was watching with my wife earlier, and she said the same thing. She looked at me. She hates Lord of the Rings too, which whatever. I'll forgive her for that. But this doesn't help because she looked at me. She's like, "This looks like a video game, but it's not a video game. That's a problem." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not great. Just give me another Shadows of Mordor game if you're gonna do this. I'll just play it. I don't need to watch it." But luckily, I paid for Prime already, so I don't have to pay for another streaming service.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Even though I have Prime, I would rather watch something else at this point. Like there are so many shows to burn through right now, like Peacemaker, Righteous Gemstones, Euphoria. I mean, Killing Eve is coming back out. How I Met Your Mother or Father is supposed to be good. I'd rather watch that. I don't
I
know.
disagree on that one, but
Proud Family's coming back. I'm watching that.
hey, Lizzo's gonna be in it. Did you see that too? They're bringing everybody back, man.
like,
Everybody.
like
Love
I was so turned off by this trailer. It was kind of ridiculous. And to spend a Super Bowl spot on this, like, sheesh, that was
They
bad.
spent like $250 million just for the Lord of the Rings license. You're gonna spend another amount of money on the Super. I didn't see how much Super Bowl ads were going for this year, but on that ad too, it didn't like there were a couple shots at the beginning were cool. I don't know. They got until September. Hopefully they fix it or get it right or add some stuff. Hopefully it just wasn't done and they're trying to build hype. But Will said it could be a great story. It's called Lord of the Rings of Power. They're gonna show us how like the rings got around and all that stuff, but I don't care. Like it
Look,
better be weekly or something like you said, because if it's bingeable, I'll wait.
yeah, so I'm hoping that they, like I said, show some boots on ground kind of stuff. Like I need some rivalries. I need some houses to turn on each other. I need some drama out of this. I don't want it to be just a spectacle just because and look here is pretty, because that'll just be a waste. And I'll leave it at
Somebody's not dying in the first 7 minutes over this ring. I'm out. I spent
somebody
half $1 billion on this show. Somebody
somebody
better be dead in the first 7 minutes, and the
I,
ring better show up half made or something. Or
But it
I
better be
don't
in a
know.
good action scene too. That's the beauty of the Peter Jackson ones too. Is like the fight scenes were just real. They were lived in. Like even Game of Thrones took some of that with their episodes too, and really had their better fight scenes were like the ones that had a lot of extras and a lot of people in it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like this show's going to commit to it, and that's a problem.
Yeah, and I'll leave it at this. Hopefully, like you said, another trailer drops because we need more. Look, this needed to be like Game of Thrones level to get people interested.
Mm-hmm. This
So,
was their Game of Thrones, and I don't think it's it.
yeah, this is the real life version. This is the movie version of their game New World. Came out super hyped, flopped. So, yeah. All right. Well, our last trailer, which is a personal favorite for mine, but the movie Nope, from the beautiful mind of Jordan Peele. My wife literally did not know what she was watching, and she in the middle of the trailer says, "No, what the hell?" and she was like, "Oh, it's literally called Nope." Okay, like, look, I love Jordan Peele's movies. They have great themes. They have great actors. They have great sense of direction. They have a great story. I just hope that people go see it in the theaters. Like, a ton of people say they love his movies, but never go see it in theaters. They wait till streaming comes out or wait till it's out on Blu-ray or whatever, and that's when they see it. I ask people, that talk about Jordan Peele, have you seen it or not it? Us, or have you seen Get Out? Of course, everybody's seen Get Out because it's been out for so long. But like, did you see it in theaters? So I'm hoping that as his third installment of his, horror franchise, that he gets the respect that he deserves. And his movie first weekend gets, 250 mil, something decent. I'm hoping that he gets 750 mil overall, because I feel like it's a blockbuster of horror right now. So my question to you guys, are you going to go see it in theaters? Pandemic or not?
I'll go see it in theaters. I'm a Jordan Peele fan. I've seen each movie in theaters. I saw Get Out in theaters, and I saw Us in theaters. I love to Get Out. I was a little confused about Us at the end. That I don't know what the ending was about. I still don't get what Us was about. Maybe I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once, but I left the theater confused as to what was going on. Like I got it, but I was like, what? But I didn't get it. It's weird. So Jordan Peele keeps me intrigued. I'll definitely go see it in theaters. I think it'll be a good movie. I hope I'm saying his name right, Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hope I did. I really like him as an actor, so I'm definitely gonna go see it in theaters for sure.
If you haven't seen um, the Fred Hampton movie,
Judas and the Black Messiah, that man
Judas.
was robbed of an Academy Award for that movie.
Oh my goodness, he
Rob.
absolutely should have won.
I sat there with my mouth open last year. I could not believe he didn't win.
I hope that he brings that same level of greatness to this movie because man, oh man, and like throughout his movies, he's played on the theme of the disenfranchised black person, and historically, this is what happened to black people, but he's flipping the script, literally flipping the script on how horror is being done and how black people are perceived in horror and how those themes are going to be perceived afterwards. So I absolutely love it. Ben, how about you? What do you think? It's going to flop? Is it going to, are you going to go see it in theaters?
Yep. I'm definitely going to. I'm trying to think if I saw Get Out in theaters or not, or if I saw it right after. I'm pretty sure I did. I definitely saw Us in theaters, so this will get me to go again. I was with your wife here too, Adrian, where I don't know what's going on, but Jordan Peele hasn't let me down yet. They're always interesting. I was with Will. I'm still confused by Us, but that's okay. It was great. It kept me guessing. This one too. I don't know what's going on. But you said it too. He uses sci-fi so well, and that's always the beauty of sci-fi is putting, or in this case, horror, genre of some kind. He's putting a familiar type of movie feeling. We don't know what's going on. We know it's going to be scary. There's probably something that's going to keep us on the edge of our seat, but there's a social commentary behind it too. And that's when science fiction, that's when horror is at its best. It's speaking to something else. And I'm always excited to see what he says, and what lesson he's trying to show, I think the general public. I don't think it's going to make $750 million. It's going to be an R-rated movie, but if it gets into one of the higher categories for horror, it wouldn't surprise me. His name is Bank right now, and these movies have been really good so far.
Yeah, his time on the reboot of the Twilight Zone is kind of what his genre is. It's kind of that sci-fi horror weirdy kind of place, and I mean he's taken some very very strange stories from real life and kind of changing them into this kind of horror. And his horror is different, the horror that mostly makes up Hollywood now is the gory slashing, slasher kind of deal, and the jump scares and the kind of creepy like exorcism kind of deals. This one, it's just, if shit goes sideways, what are you doing? And that kind of situational horror is what he's good at.
I mean, he played with the slasher in Us too. There's definitely violence in that, and there are more jump scares than there are in Get Out. But it's not always about that. That is a vehicle to something else. And you said it too. Yes, he rebooted the Twilight Zone, but that was what the Twilight Zone was in the '60s.
Right.
It used those sci-fi themes to talk about other issues. That's why they gave him a crack at it. And I know it wasn't as successful as the original, whatever. Like clearly the movies are his medium to do that too. So let him just keep doing that. But he clearly understands it and he uses what he knows. And it's crazy too, because this dude like started as a comedian, and his stuff on Key and Peele is hilarious. But now we switch and he just knows how to get me excited for a movie that I have no idea what's about. I watched a 2-minute trailer and know less than I did going in, besides the title. It's awesome.
You're just intrigued, which is the opposite of what Lord of the Rings did. And with that, that is the end of our show for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Friday night, we will be breaking down the Doctor Strange 2 trailer in great detail. We'll be going for about an hour, hour and a half. Make sure you tune in. I'll be sure to bring all my notes because it's going to be it's going to be a lot of detail in that show. So if you can, please like and subscribe on the video. Please leave us a comment on our social medias at Dug In Pod, and just take care. We'll see you next time.
Velociraptor style.
Oh, God.